Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Shai, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Shai, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Howell, Bashim Shai, Bahashim Rachak Wadash, the belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Alright, on the pre-Shaman, this week's topic is going to be entitled Exodus, the 12th chapter. You know, it's going to be probably part 1, part 2, part 3, I don't know. But I already did Matthew's 26. Going into the Lord's Passover, and I'm going to read Exodus, the 12th chapter, which goes into the Passover, because the Passover is coming up on Thursday night, which is a Sabbath, will be the Passover for this year, and it's 7 days of unleavened bread. By the way, the first and the last day of the Passover is a Sabbath. But without further ado, this is one of the scriptures we read in the service. I'm going to start off Exodus 12:1. It says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year." So, in Esau's calendar, the year begins in January, in the dead of winter. But according to the scriptures, life begins in the springtime. The Passover is springtime. That's when you can literally see new life coming, and that's when you start the year. Okay? Which also cuts that the Lord was born in Christmas. No, the Lord was born around the Passover, man. The Lord was born in the springtime. You see? It says, so it's the first month of the year, all right? This is the first month of the year, according to the scriptures, Passover. It says, 3, "Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month," Salakia. Okay, verse 3. It says, "Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house," right? And Yahweh made a good point. He said when he's getting a lamb, he's ordering a lamb, and the guy was trying to sell him a bunch of sheep. He said, "No, I gotta see the balls, man." Meaning it gotta be a lamb, it gotta be a male. Okay, because those butchers, they don't want to sell their males. Because you could use them, you could breed, males could breed, give you more. So they don't really want to sell their males, but that's what we need. You could also use a goat. Verse 4 says, "And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish. A male has to be a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats." So you could use a male lamb or a male goat. Okay. And look, we're rehearsing the righteous acts as we brought out in Judges 5:11 in the previous lesson. So we don't have to perfect this. Look, we get the lamb, we have it butchered, but we don't know if there's blemishes and all that kind of. We're just doing what we can, okay? Doing what we can. Verse 6, it says, "And ye shall keep it, up until the 14th day of the same month." It says, "And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening." So yeah, that's how come we wait until the sun goes down. Then we start to consume it. Then we start to consume the lamb. Verse 8, it says, "And they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it." Right. So what does it mean roasted? Meaning you can't boil it or these different sorts of things. You have to roast the lamb. The lamb is one of those meats, man. It's a good thing to roast or cook because it doesn't really need much flavor and none of that. It's just a very savory meat. And it says unleavened bread. Now that means no yeast, okay? What we normally do is have those little flat tortillas, those little flat corn-like tortillas. We use those because the shit the so-called Jews give out for unleavened bread. What I've heard, I never had it myself, that I hear is pretty disgusting. So we do that. And we have the wine, like Yahweh Shai did. And the bitter herbs, we use horseradish, okay? So for you brothers that are just coming in, you might be somewhere parts of the world, you could type in the GMS Passover service and you could see how the apostles and bishops put together a video of how to rehearse the Passover, how to keep it, you know? So there's going to come a time where, look, man, we're going to have to just know how to keep this thing on our own, all right? Verse 9, it says, eat not of it raw, nor sodden, right, which I just talked about. It has to be roasted, okay? And sodden, again, you're not supposed to stew it or some shit like that. It says, at all with water, but roast with fire his head with his legs and with the pertinence thereof. So you're supposed to just burn the whole thing, cook everything. Again, rehearsal, so we're not doing all that, but that's how it's supposed to be done. Some brothers might do that, I don't know, but we don't really. I mean, how do you know, they got them videos on YouTube where this guy, he pretty much roasts a big ass whole meat, man. Put the shit in the earth and burn the earth and the smoke don't get out, and roast it with the smoke and all that. But we don't have all that stuff, bro. Again, we just doing what we can. It says, verse 10, and ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, right? So there's no leftovers. In other words, if there is leftovers, it got to get thrown out. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes certain years the land be slamming, certain years it don't. Some years it be slamming. You like, man, yeah, I want to take some of this home, but you know, hey, man, it's not a lamb dinner. You know, yeah, we might commiserate after, but the whole point is just keeping the service. This is a solemn assembly. So even if that lamb is slamming, you would, man, I wish I could take some. Nah, brother, can't. You're not eating all of that night. You gotta get chucked. It says, and ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remaineth of it until the morning, ye shall burn with fire. Exactly. So if there's any leftovers, whoop, that's it. Gotta go. Most sides very particular with these rules. Verse 11, and thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hands, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. So this is kind of like a fast food kind of thing. Like, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Buckled up and ready to go. Why was that? Because when this was done, we were fleeing Egypt while the ceremony was taking place. So we had to do it in haste because that death angel was going around killing, which was Yahweh Shah, and we had to get the fuck up out of there. So it was done in haste. So that's how we're supposed to keep it. 12, and it's going to break it down. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both men and beasts. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. And that's where you get the whole term Passover from, right? The death angel passed over those that had the blood of the lamb smeared on their doorpost. And the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever, right? So, and that's why we still rehearsing this until this day. In fact, these are one of those high holy days where all of Israel had to come up to Jerusalem. You see, the Passover is one of them. And it's going to be the same thing with the second Passover. What's the second Passover? When the Lord destroys America and delivers us out of this captivity, this Egypt, the spiritual one, Revelations 11 and 8. And we know that from the book of Jeremiah chapter 16, 14 on down. You know that this deliverance is going to be talked about more than the deliverance that we're reading about now. 15. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. Again, do this to the best of your ability. I know some of us, it depends, where you at with your household. So again, to the best of your ability. It says, for whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And it's also very good to, double check, what you're consuming. During the Passover, I'm on a keto diet, but during the Passover, that would be very helpful too. If you do a keto diet throughout, and you look up what a keto diet is, you're not going to see any leaven in there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not to my knowledge, because keto is like, proteins and fats, greens, so you avoid a lot of things that might contain leaven, like cakes and all type of shit. No bread. 16, it says, and in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, Sabbath, and in the 7th a holy convocation, again another Sabbath day, right? It says, and in the first day there shall be a holy convocation, and in the 7th day there shall be a holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat. That only may be done of you, right? So, because if you think about it, you're not supposed to be really kindling the fire and cooking on all that on the Sabbath. But on the Passover, there's exceptions to the rule. Well, Salakia, Salakia, because you cooking it. Oh no, yeah, no, that's accurate, because we just read up above that you start eating in the evening and all that. Actually, I have to double check with that. No, I believe what we do is pardon me. So we cook it before the sun goes down, okay, and then once the sun goes down, then we eat of it. Pardon me. Okay, so Salakia on that one. 17, and ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. So that's another term for the Passover, the feast of unleavened bread. It says, and ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this self same day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. And that's what we're doing. Okay. Keeping the Lord. And another thing too about the Passover is it's usually a time where the Most High trims the fat. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of a lot of leaven. Scriptures tell us little leaven the whole lump. So you typically see big conspiracies kind of come out, and just like recently with Sakari, or the Lord dish out some swift judgment right around the time of Passover, because that individual might not be right at the moment, lest they repent. You know what I'm saying? The Most High be cutting off, and that's how come we make sure we put up our prayers, because we know how the Lord do around the Passover. Okay, that's 24. That's 24/7, 365. But still, it's just an emphasis around the Passover time. Verse 18, it says, in the first month of the 14th day of the month at evening, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at evening. 19, 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses, for whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, which he be a stranger or born in the land. Okay, and leaven is associated again with wickedness. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of wickedness make everything wicked. So again, that's when the Most High have all the dirt and shit that wicked ass niggas be on. The Most High, for some reason, right around the Passover, just come to light. You see? And you kind of find out, like, holy shit, this person was really doing some crazy wild shit. Because they let that leaven build up. 20, ye shall eat nothing leavened, and all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. 21. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning, right? Because a whole bunch of killing was going down that night. Imagine the screams and the hails and the anguish and all that shit you must have been hearing, man. Hey, that's a scary thing. You got to put yourself back in, that time. So it wasn't really a jovial thing, man, as a lot of these camps try to make it out to be. You read about it and what was going down. This thing was serious, bro. It was no, them screams, you eating in haste and shit, and you gotta bounce. Salakia. Okay, so that was part 1. We're gonna stop at verse 22. We'll continue throughout the week. With that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to Zadakim, and I do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.